He dominated college basketball as few have. Now he faces the ultimate test, the NBA. The Ralph Sampson era begins in 2 weeks on CBS Sports.
Cowboys about to kick off at 17-7. That's the story of their scoring drive, 9 plays. 3:55, they kept it after the interception by Wall. Set in, line drive, sailed. Hit that pylon, it appeared.
It's out of bounds, so of course that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Kickoff, hit the pylon. That is a touchback.
That means they go back to the 30.
Right.
Kick it again.
Let's watch this when we're talking about uncovering. See, COSBIE was here running a hook inside. Here's the defender, so he stops and turns back out, and that's how he catches the pass. You see, look, he's covered here on the inside, so he turns back to the outside and then gets the ball for the touchdown. That's uncovering. That's pretty good. I like that term.
That uncovering?
That uncovering. Of course, they don't have to kick off again here.
No, they don't. Now they go back to the zone.
The ball hit the pylon, which is in the end zone. Consequently, we have a touchback.
Now that pylon doesn't look like it's in the end zone to me.
Well, I guess the pylon, if the ball hits the pylon, I guess that's in the field of play. So then they say that the ball did go into the end zone. Looked like it was going out of bounds down there.
That's what I thought.
But by hitting the pylon, I guess that makes it a touchback. So the Eagles start on the 20-yard line.
We get new words every week.
Hitting the pylon?
Pylon's got into the football.
1 knee equals 2 feet. 1 pylon equals an end zone. That sounds good.
1st and 10 from the 20. There's Williams. Young running back. John Dutton made the stop, and that quieted the crowd down considerably.
I think that's the first time that Michael Williams has carried the ball today.
And that's their first down since that touchdown play.
Let's watch it. It's out of the I formation. See, it's a little counter thing. That's the Dallas Cowboy play. The tailback starts to the right. They pull the off tackle. He comes across some traps, and he comes back that way.
First down, Philadelphia. Ruby Oliver, the lone setback. He just got a good block on that last play for Williams. This is Oliver, the ball carrier. The influence play, and Oliver gets out near the 40-yard line before Michael Downs can bring him down. Injured Cowboy is Dexter Clinkscale. Bill Bates comes in to replace him. Dexter being administered to. Tom Landry said yesterday his defensive backs have to make a lot of tackles. Maybe one too many.
In these modern times, the person who goes to work may not have far to go. But at the Hat of the Month Club, the boss better keep moving. To keep the books, organize the files, write the letters, check out the inventory, find time to create, and still keep on top of things. Yet even a thriving business can reach a point of diminishing returns. A good time to learn about the IBM personal computer. With this tool for modern times, a person can quickly master such jobs as accounting or word processing. Even use the IBM personal computer to forecast growth. All helping the business person at home to wear many hats, while selling even more. And that can be a feather in anyone's cap. The IBM personal computer. Try one on at a store near you.
The NCAA today begins our coverage of college football next week. Texas 5-0 against SMU 5-0. In fact, the Mustangs haven't lost a game since Texas beat them 2 years ago.
Let's see why there was a big hole there in that Cowboy. Now, usually the guy who makes the play on the run is the middle linebacker, Bob Brunig. He's going to come up here in a blitz. Now, watch the block right here on Dutton, too. See, now, there's Brunig. He comes up. He gets turned. Now, watch right there. Ron Baker will take Dutton to the inside. Look at that hole in there. And Clinkscale has to come up, make the play, and gets a knee in the head.
walked off under his own power. Seems to be okay. Here he is.
Well, the Cowboys don't do that much. Blitz that middle linebacker in their form of that flex defense. He's usually free. But when he blitzes, then they block Dutton in. Now Clinkscale had that hole. He had to support and force in that 4 hole between the guard and the tackle.
And Bill Bates has taken his place. He'll get into the pile for you.
There's Bill Bates, number 40. I'll guarantee you we're going to see him flying around there. He's always looking for a place to hit someone. Watch me right here, 40. He sees it's a run. He says, I want a piece of that. Where is it? Where's that ball carry? I'll hit my own guy. Let me push. Yeah. Where's a green jersey? Those are the guys that, you know, they have that old saying and cliche, they come to play, they love it, and all those things. That's Bill Bates.
You watch the coaches when they're out warming up or in practice, and they stay about 5 yards away from Bates.
Some of those guys that like to hit, they'll hit anything.
Oh, yeah.
Coaches,
Stadiums,
players, golf ball.
First down, Philadelphia. Bates is taking a vacation, and Clinkscale has recovered from that Hubie Oliver knee, and he's back at his safety spot. Dallas 17, Philadelphia 7. The Eagles have won 4 on the road this year. Cowboys have won everything. Carmichael. Carmichael shakes, almost shook away from Everson Wall. Everson did manage to pick him up. That was almost 6.
Oh, and Carmichael is upset. He knew that if he could just have gotten one of those feet loose from Wall, look at him. Got it. It would have been a big play down that sideline. I don't know what Walls had a hold of here on Carmichael, but it wasn't much. With Harold Carmichael at 6'8", there's a lot to grab. Walls was going to grab something down there around that ankle. Look, right there, because if I could have just gotten that right leg out of there, I'd still be running.
Just shaking that loose, he'd have had some more yardage, no question about it. A lot more. On second down, Jaworski gives to Williams. Ed Too Tall Jones is right there with Harvey Martin. Cowboys have played a strong defensive year against the rush, but not so much against the pass.
Jones and Dutton also the tackle at the 50-yard line. Will be third down and 1.
Eagles, of course, the number 1 defensive unit in the NFC, number 1 against the rush. It'll be third and 1 with 8:20 left to play first half. Ball is at midfield. Dallas up by 10 points. Close. John Dutton on the bottom of the stack.
This will be one of those right foot, left foot deals. You see that guy that marked it, he has to come running in from the sideline. He has to run about 25 yards before he puts a foot down to say where it is. I didn't see whether it was a right foot or a left foot.
I didn't either. They were blocking us out. They're going to bring in the sticks, I think. Looks like it might be a little bit short.
Yeah, it does look short. Usually when a quarterback stands up there, he knows it's short, too. And the Eagles will punt.
Somebody asked Landry, hey, what's going to happen to this team? The way you've been winning, you can't keep going like that. And he said, why not?
Yeah. It's been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Why break up a good deal?
Spladany is back to punt, and Rod Hill is back deep for the Cowboys, standing about his own 11. Hill at the 10. Hops out of bounds at about the 14. Ray Ellis is down there for the Eagles. 40-yard punt, 4-yard return, 36 yards net. As you look at the Dallas bench and Randy White and his defensive companions. 17-7, the Cowboys over the Eagles.
Today, you need an oil this good. You need Quaker State. When your engine's this new, you gotta protect your investment. You need an oil this good.
When your engine's this old, it needs extra care. You need an oil this good.
Small engines work so hard, they demand an oil this good.
These motor oils are refined exclusively from Pennsylvania-grade crude. Quaker State is so good, it's America's best-selling motor oil. New cars,
Old cars, small cars.
today you need Quaker State. You need an oil this good.
Boxing, soccer, basketball, baseball, football, watch them all. With Rose in hand, you'll have a ball. 'Cause there's no taste like the Rose. Rose, no taste like the Rose. There's no taste like it. Everybody knows there's no taste like the Rose. Wild Irish Rose wine.
Wednesday, it's Julie Andrews, William Holden, Robert Preston, Loretta Swit, and Larry Hagman in Blake Edwards' hilarious S.O.B.
Standard operational bull.
At Summerall with John Madden at Texas Stadium, where the Dallas Cowboys lead the Philadelphia Eagles 17-7. And we have 7.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Butch Johnson and Drew Pearson both stacked up on the right side, and now here comes Drew in motion. Handoff is to Dorsett, looking for some room to the outside, and not much doing there. Richie Wilkes was the first man to hit him.
I'll tell you, the way Dennis Harrison plays the run so strong on that left side of the Eagle defense, big number 68 there, you're never going to get a lot of good running there. You know, watch how strong he is here. If we can see him on the right-hand side of the screen. He takes on Kurt Peterson, see, helmet to helmet, boom, whap, and then he's right down the field, up into the backfield, and Dorsett has no place to go.
That's that key you were talking about, up into the backfield.
That's right. He controlled the tackle, then right up to the outside of it.
Second and 9. They hand quickly to Springs. Springs out past the 20. Dennis Harrison made the stop. Big foot.
I'll tell you, probably of the defensive ends in the league, as we watch him right here, he's probably as strong against the run as any of them. Watch here. Now, what happens here is Cooper's trying to block him low, but he doesn't let him get to his legs. Plays off him, holds up the hole right there.
There's an interesting observation as you look at number 68 that his coach, Marion Campbell, said yesterday he's a big, tall guy, but he doesn't have long legs.
That's interesting because most of his height comes from his waist up.
From the shotgun is White. Cowboys are 4 out of 7 from that formation. Here's Cosby again. And Cosby lunges for the first down. Bernard Wilson was the Eagle defensive back draped around that 6'6" frame.
He Cosby says, I'm okay, I'm just tired. And he points, hey, let someone come in here and take a couple here from it. Now what they're doing, the Eagles have that 3-1-7. 7 defensive backs. When they do that, the guy they play man-to-man is Cosby. So what the Cowboys are doing every time in that long yardage situation is working Doug Cosby man-to-man in the middle against number 22, Bernard Wilson.
Cosby did indicate that he was tired. He seems to be okay. His place has been taken by Philly Joe Dupree. That's Dupree in motion. This is Dorsett in motion. He just did a little shoulder move that should be at the ballet right there. He didn't do much with it after he got the move accomplished, but
well, you know, he concerned Coach Marion Campbell so much on first down. He said, in first down situations, you know, they have computers for all this stuff, so they know all this stuff. On first down, Dorsett, when he runs, averages 4.5. Now, he said, we'd like to keep him to about 2.5, but look what they're doing. He's 2 points per carry on first down.
second down at 7. Butch Johnson was open. Bernard Wilson and Wes Hopkins were back there with him. Danny White just couldn't quite get it to him.
It's a double coverage. You know, we see up here, we see Wilson. Now, he's going to bump him and come off. Then Hopkins is going to be deep. What the Cowboys are trying to do is throw it between the two. They do it pretty well. It was just a little outstretched for Butch Johnson. But Butch Johnson couldn't outstretch him, not or Danny White outstretched him too much. One of those deals.
Incomplete. 3rd and 7, 4.5 minutes left to play first half. Ball's at the Dallas 29, lead by 10. Good protection. Now Butch can hang on. Randy Logan, the defender, knocked him down, but Johnson comes up with a first down. Good throw by White, 11 yards.
That was an interesting play because on that situation against that 3-1-7 again, they'd been working COSBIE in the middle. That time they ran COSBIE deep as a decoy, and then they brought Butch Johnson underneath. Let's see if we can see it right here. They bring COSBIE deep, and they just bring Butch Johnson across the middle. Now watch him now. It's been COSBIE in the middle, but watch Johnson come from the outside right there. They cleared out for him.
And now we come back live with a screen pass to Dupree, and Dupree gets into Eagle territory. Down to the 47, a 12-yard gain. The tight end screen. They operated with 2 tight ends that time. Billy Joe looked pretty spry on that run,
I'll
didn't he?
tell you, you sure did. Marion Campbell was saying last night that the best thing that the Cowboys do, in fact, they do it better than anyone in football, is run a screen. There it is out to Dupree. Boom, good block. He cuts off it. Big guy rambling right down the field, knows where to go, right up towards the goal post.
He said that one of the things that concerned him, and you've seen a pretty good illustration of it, is that they can hit you from so many areas all across the field.
With so many people.
So many people. Eagles on the blitz. Dupree. Another Dallas first down at the 32. Gary Robinson made the stop. White did a good job hanging in there against the pressure.
Well, it's the same thing. What the Cowboys are doing here is they're clearing out with their wide receivers, running them down up the field, then they're bringing their tight end on ins and outs in the middle of the field. It's been Doug COSBIE, and the last couple have been Billy Joe Dupree. Bunch of players. There's Butch Johnson. You see, he's getting a double coverage right there. You see, and then that brings in, there's another double coverage there. That's a triple coverage there. And that allows Dupree to come underneath him. Double coverage, triple coverage.
2 minutes to go in the first half as the Cowboys are on the move again. They lead by 10 points, 17-7 over Philadelphia.
The new car. It is based on what your driving needs are today and what they will be in the future. The new car. It is designed to move people in comfort and with unrivaled efficiency. The new car, the Honda Civic CRX.
Early in the year, these guys were down here scouting the kids. Now they're back looking for help.
The best has a taste all its own.
Hey, Bob, you got a minute?
Enjoy it.
Pat Summerall and John Madden at Texas Stadium. Don't forget at the half, the NFL Today with scores and highlights from Brent Musburger and Herb Trost. Many surprises today. Both teams here, by the way, the Eagles and the Cowboys, have all 3 of their timeouts left. Danny White is 16 out of 26 for 176 yards, 179 yards. 1 touchdown to COSBIE and the 1 interception. We mentioned before there's been a lot of concern, I guess is better word than criticism, about Danny White's play here at the helm of the Cowboys. And he said, frankly, I'm just tired of it. I'm throwing the ball as well as I've ever thrown it. This is a first down situation. Reverse Springs, and Springs is a left-handed thrower. Springs to Johnson, almost. They ran that play earlier, except they didn't include the pass at the end.
And the interesting thing about it is that it was run from the left side, you know, because Ron Springs is the left-handed thrower.
That looked like the same play that Robert Newhouse hit Golden Richards in Super Bowl against Denver.
Let's watch the effect here. First of all, we're going to get a fake to the right, then a reverse to the left. Now watch Butch Johnson. He started in, back out. Herman Edwards does a good job of covering because he gets there and is able to knock that ball out right at the end.
Just got a piece of it right at the end. Right. Second down, 10. The 32, draw play to Newsom. You heard the Eagle defenders perhaps yelling, draw, draw. There's always somebody there who yells that.
It's usually the guy in the middle who never rushes the quarterback. He's a guy who's the traffic cop type thing and said, I'll take the screen, the draw, and hang around the middle, and the rest of you guys rush and stuff.
Dallas is 7 out of 10 on third down.
Look at that guy holding there for Septien. Look at all the gear he has on. He must be a electrician or something.
No, he's a
trainer.
Assistant equipment man.
I know, but he looks like an electrician, too. Maybe he does both. He got stuff hanging out of his pocket.
Look like Snyder. White has Newsom, and he comes up with a catch, and then he lost it. It's incomplete. Almost a spectacular catch by Timmy Newsom. Dennis DeVaughn was the defender back there with him, and Newsom almost came up with it. The impact of him hitting the ground is what caused it to jar loose.
That was a heck of a throw, too, by Danny White. I mean, that thing, he has a couple of steps on DeVaughn right there, but you know what he did wrong? He left his feet. You know, you always teach receivers, don't dive for the ball, run through it. I think the greatest that I ever had at that was Fred Blitnikoff. He'd never leave his feet. He would run through everything. It looked like Newsom stopped. When you stop to dive, you lose the speed.
Septien from 46 yards out. Morano holding. Juggled it. Septien got it nevertheless. Well, I still say the same thing. If you asked me 2 weeks ago if I had to pick a kicker, I'd take him.
What you doing, huh? In my growing up, I came to depend on my family. When I lost my dad to cancer, I learned that when we face the tough times in life, it's our families and all the things they teach us about growing up that really carries us through.
I'm Randy Ware of the Dallas Cowboys, and this is my family. My wife, Vicki, and our daughter, Jordan. Vicki and I are United Way volunteers. We support the work of the United Way because they help families. They care about people. United Way funds the important work that holds families together. Through divorce, or illness, or hard times, the United Way agencies are there.
We're blessed, and we're thankful for all we have, and we know that the United Way gives us all a chance to help.
For all families, yours and mine, we want to say thanks. Because thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
Preceding message was brought to you by Randy White and by the National Football League. Raphael Septien with 520 points, the Cowboys' all-time leading scorer. Major effort back deep to the Eagles. Line drive kickoff. Didn't quite get to the pylon that time. That's Ray Ellis. Ellis hit down by Jim Jeffcoat, this year's #1 draft choice for Dallas. Bill Bates also involved, as you would expect. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited.
Tell you, the Eagles have only had the ball six minutes in this whole first half, and the Cowboys have had it over 22 minutes.
That's tough on defense. 50 seconds left to play in the first half with Dallas leading 20-7 now. Jaworski out of the shotgun. Under pressure, look out. Harvey Martin around the corner. Randy White up the middle.
Let's watch this now. Now we'll see the Cowboy line. There's no flex there. They're all up in there. They're going to run a stunt. Smirek starts one way, White starts the other way. Two talls in front, and Harvey Martin was in the back. That's covering it from the middle and both sides.
That'd be like throwing out of the Lincoln Tunnel.
If the tunnel were upside down, if they're standing up.
2nd and 10 with 47 seconds left to go. Jaworski again out of the shotgun. Cowboys showed a blitz, backed off. Here comes the pressure again. It's two calls. And down they go. White and Jones make Jaworski's life miserable. Smirek also involved in the rush.
You know, it's funny, on Two-Tall, we haven't heard much from him, but watch him. He's right here. He's just going to take the move on Sizemore. We haven't heard much from Two-Tall all day, but I'll tell you, when it starts to come, there he goes. You see the move? He gets that left arm up, right arm over, and he's right there and grabs Jaworski's arm. Hey, when they get ready to pass rush, that Two-Tall Jones and Harvey Martin can still do a job.
Notice early in that rush how he flailed his arms to keep Sizemore's hands off of it.
That's a big thing that they try and do. You know, they try and keep those hands off and then grab something. He grabbed with his left arm and then took his right arm and threw it over Sizemore's shoulder. That's called a swim technique.
Coming up at halftime, the NFL Today, one more time with scores and highlights from Brent Musburger and Irv Cross from our studios, the NFL Today studios back in New York. And you're right, John, when they can lay them back and go on a pass rush, they can do it. Wes Hopkins, by the way, just to amplify a little bit more on his injury, has a pulled hamstring. And it's very uncertain whether or not he'll be able to return or not. And the Eagles now have a couple of defensive backs hurt, and they could be hurting in that area.
Look at the way the Cowboys do that. The linemen stay up in the line by themselves, and look at all those defensive backs. They stay close together back there. They come up. The linemen, they don't know what's going on back there. They don't want to get together with those guys. These guys back there said, hey, we got to cover all these receivers. Keep an eye on Mike Quick, they're saying.
3rd and 14, 41 seconds left to play in the first half. Dallas 20, Eagles 7. Smirek all over Jaworski.
Let's watch this. Smirek just lines up right here. He's going to be right here. Now watch the move that he makes. It's right here, right over him, right into Jaworski. Didn't have a chance. Ron Smirek is one of the strongest guys on this Cowboys defense. Look, right there. He goes right by Ron Baker. Oh, that had hurt Jaworski.
He used that swim technique also to get rid of Baker.
And it didn't take him long to use it. I mean, he got him right now and got by him. The tough thing when a guard is beaten and that guy's coming right up the middle at you.
Dallas just took a timeout, so they have 2 remaining.
You know what I would love to see? There's a rule in the NFL, the free kick rule. And it could come into play right here. And if Dallas fair catches, after the fair catch, they could have a free kick. Except the end could come in and kick right from the spot of the fair catch.
With no rush.
With no rush. They have to give them 10 yards. I would love to see that thing. I don't know if it doesn't look like Tom Landry's thinking about it because he's talking to Danny White. If Tom were thinking about it, he'd be talking to Raphael Septien.
I think there's too much time left. 37 seconds. They got time to use those 2 timeouts and maybe get down closer if it's at the end. But if there were less time left, I think there's a good chance he might. You know he knows that he's aware of that possibility. Good pick by Splatani. Forget about what we're talking about. It chases Rod Hill all the way back to the 37. Hill gets back to the Dallas 49. Goes out of bounds, knocked out by Vito Cab.
Was that Tom Landry taking a little hit over there? Yeah, Tom took it on, did he? I wonder if he broke down. You know, I've been watching that baseball stuff, that World Series, you know, and managers always wear those baseball uniforms. Heck, they don't play. I was thinking, what happened if they did that? If they said, hey, that's a good rule. Football coaches ought to do that. Can you see Tom Landry? He'd probably be 19, number 19. Mike Ditka, he'd tape up.
Yeah.
Aaron Campbell, be 78, shirt tail hanging out.
And they'd be glad to see somebody come out of bounds.
With football coaches in football uniforms.
1st and 10. Cowboys 20, Eagles 7. 26 seconds left to play. First half. White going for more. A lot of time. Intended for Springs. Anthony Griggs was right there with him. White was looking deep early. Couldn't find anybody. 20 seconds to go first half. Clock stopped.
Well, Tom Landry's calling this one with the ball around midfield. What they would like to do is get at least 15 yards, or maybe 20, and that would put it right within Septien's range.
That's Dick Nolan over there on the sideline. Al Lavin, Jim Myers, Levan it is. I'm sorry, it's not Lavin. 2nd and 10 for Danny White from the shotgun. Eagles. Cosby head over heels at the 25. Dennis DeVaughn trips him up. 26-yard pickup.
It's the same thing they've been doing the whole first half against that 3-1-7. They're working the middle, the big tight end. Let's watch it here. Cosby will come from the left. He'll come right up. Danny White's looking. He sees Cosby right there. Hits him now. He's the guy with man-on-man coverage. He beats the man-on-man coverage and gets the big first down that now the Cowboys have their field goal range. Cosby's having a heck of a day. The way he was talking yesterday,
I think
he didn't even know if he was going to play. He said, I need some time off.
6 catches, 84 yards, the touchdown. I tell you, I have to give tribute too, John, to the Dallas offensive line because protection was picture perfect.
Protection has been good all day for the Cowboys, and you know, we talked about that time of possession and saying that it may show up in the 4th quarter. I think it's showing up here in the 2nd quarter. I think the Eagle defense is a little worn down right now.
And with the injuries they've had to those secondary people, they lost Hopkins. They lost a couple of more.
Roynell Young.
Got people playing in strange places. Not that they aren't good athletes, but when you get into a situation you're not used to, that makes it even more difficult.
Plus, they're having a lot of shots taken out of them.
And when you think about the roster limitations, you can't go to that defense he likes so much with the 7 defensive backs. That's about all they got.
Well, they have to use some linebackers in there doing the same types of things.
Danny White's shotgun efficiency from which he operates right now. Batted away again, and who comes up with it but Rafferty. Rafferty gets down inside the 20 to the 17. Tom Rafferty snapped it and got the rebound and carried it.
That's something for an old center, isn't it? He had to snap it, then he had to block for a while, then he had to catch it, then he had to run with it and have a bunch of guys jump on him. Watch him here. He was trying to hit Doug Cosby in the middle again. The same type of thing. It's the same defense. Look, he's going right there. The ball is tipped. I watch it tipped instead of going straight up by Jerry Robinson. It's tipped back, then it's jump ball, bounced out to Rafferty. He's just a center. He's hanging around there. Ball comes in his hands. He said, I'll take it a while.
Give some credit, too, to Ron Springs, who was the other Cowboy who batted it away from Robinson in the direction.
He batted away out to Rafferty.
Atlanta 14, the Rams 7, 3rd quarter. Giants 14, Kansas City 10, halftime. Cincinnati 10-10 with Denver, halftime. over Seattle. Septien from 34, 35 yards out. He's hit 2 already. He's hit another one. Dallas 23. Eagles 7. At the half, Cowboys did have to come from behind at one time, but they seem to have taken command in the first half here. Brett Musburger and Irv Cross coming up after this.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, makers of the new car, the Civic CRX, and by Quaker State, helps cars last.
This could happen in your home, so be prepared with a kit of multipurpose fire extinguisher.
Very professional. Matches your jacket, too.
Puts out all types of fires for home, boat, or automobile, and it's rechargeable. And an Ace Best Buy is just $8.99.
And for cleanup jobs, try our heavy-duty 33-gallon 2-ply bags. Another Best Buy at just $2.44.
So put out the fire.
And put out the trash.
With these October Best Buys.
Ace is the place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man.
Bacon lovers, rejoice!
If you want something new,
Arby's new Bacon Cheddar Deluxe.
we got the taste for you.
Lean roast beef, hot cheddar cheese sauce,
Like to look for more.
crisp crackle and bacon.
Who it comes before. So welcome to Arby's. You're right where you belong. You're right where you belong.
Arby's new Bacon Cheddar Deluxe.
He's only 3, and already he's reaching out, seeking, and looking to you to point the way. Now is when a Texas Instruments home computer can give him a real head start. With more educational cartridges than any other computer, they challenge, encourage, make learning fun. The home computer from Texas Instruments. Don't put it off.
He has been a dominating force at every competitive level. 2 state high school championships. 3 times the College Player of the Year. Now he faces his greatest athletic challenge to excel among the best basketball players in the world. Ralph Sampson has arrived. He'll make his National Basketball Association debut against Artis Gilmore and the San Antonio Spurs in 2 weeks on CBS Sports.
Welcome back to New York. I'm Brent Musburger with Irv Cross. And Irv, Billy Sims came back for Detroit and brought the Lions good luck today as they shut down the Chicago Bears. The final score, 31-17. Eric Hipple handing off here to Sims, his first touchdown since returning. He missed 3 games. And Hipple went out with an injury. In came Gary Danielson. He turned his big tight end loose. And Ulysses Norris came up with this one in the corner. And for the Lions, it was a breeze. Hipple even ran in with a fake field goal, so he was not hurt badly in that game. Well, Houston remains 0-7, even though they changed coaches. Chuck Studley could not change their luck today. And Irv, tell us about it.
It's really a nightmare for the Houston Oilers today, Brent. But early in the game, quarterback Gifford Nielsen goes back to pass. Is hit by Neil Elster. Now watch what happens. The ball goes up in the air. Charlie Johnson, the defensive tackle, rambles 50 yards for a touchdown. A big guy carrying 265 pounds, of course, likes that. Earl Campbell came back from the Houston Oilers to try to get their club going as he rambles over his left guard for a 12-yard touchdown run. But then Steve Dills, the Minnesota Vikings, goes to the air, hits number 83, Steve Jordan, who makes a nifty catch here, rambles in 23 yards out for a score, and Minnesota went on to win easily, 34-14.
And Irv at 5-2 now. The Vikings are all alone in first in the NFC Central. Oh, speaking of nightmares, Cleveland always has one when they go to Pittsburgh, but they're going to remember this one for a long time. The Browns turned the ball over 7 times. Brian Sipe threw 6 intercepted passes, including this one by Mike Merriweather. Merriweather dashes in for a touchdown. The Steelers' defense has scored 4 touchdowns in their last 2 games. They are awesome. Here came the other one on a recovered fumble. Greg Best things loose. And a good defense is the best offense over there in Pittsburgh this year, and they're making the most of it right now. The Steelers at 5-2, they slip into first in the AFC Central Division. The St. Louis Cardinals go to 2-5. Some folks said they were better than their record indicated. They showed it today against Tampa Bay, although the Bucs, of course, remain 0-7 on the season. Here is Neil Lomax going to Doug Marsh. That combination hit for a couple of touchdowns. In fact, Lomax had 3 touchdown passes. If he could have gotten a fourth, it would have been the first time in the history of the Buccaneers that pass defense had given up 4 touchdown passes. So John McKay's got his hands full down there. San Diego and New England. This was a comeback story. The Patriots trailed at the half 21-10. Danny Fouts was off to a good start, and then they got tough up there in Foxborough. Here's Fouts' first half touchdown. It goes to Bobby Duckworth. You know about Joyner and Chandler? Well, they got another one who could catch him. His name is Duckworth, and it made it 14-3. But Tony Collins turned this game around. Here he is scoring for the Patriots from 7 yards out. And Chuck Muncie over on the sideline for the Chargers said we could have some trouble, and he was right on because Collins got a second one, this one from 10 yards out. And now the Patriots record 3-4, identical to the Chargers, who also are 3-4 on the year. The New York Jets, what's happened to this football team? Richard Todd threw 5 interceptions, and the Miami Dolphins had a cakewalk. This was supposed to be a revenge game. Now watch what happened to Todd. Deflected pass. Here comes Kim Bocamper. He just dashes on in for the touchdown, and it was like that all afternoon. Todd was booed by the crowd in Shea Stadium, finally taken out of the game and replaced by Pat Ryan. Buffalo down Baltimore, and so Buffalo moves into first in the AFC East. And the NFL Today will continue after these messages from your local stations.
Monday on the new hit series, Scarecrow's brainwashed to kill his boss.
He'll do anything we ask him to.
Can Mrs. King break the deadly trance? And on the hit series aftermath, General's turned upside down by a surprise inspection. Then Bob's back for the season premiere of Newhart.
All I can be is myself. You could be better at it.
It's a winning lineup Monday.
Tuesday on the Mississippi, Michelle Phillips is the wealthy divorcee.
I was the major adulteress of all time.
But will her wiles woo Ben from solving a murder Tuesday?
This is CBS.
Who does most of the work on this beauty? Me. And the boys, the Pep Boys, Manny, Mo, and Jack. When I need a part, I know Pep Boys has it. New and rebuilt parts, tools, you name it, they've got it. At prices nothing short of amazing.
Hot fire and AC spark plugs and dirt fight and AC oil filters. On sale this week at Pep Boys. Resistor spark plugs, 94 cents each. Oil filters, $2.47 each.
The Pep Boys, Manny, Mo, and Jack. The 3 best friends my car ever had.
Here comes the best Jaguar ever built. Born beautiful, bred for performance. It's also the best-selling Jaguar in history. Here comes the beauty, the quick response, the walnut and leather, and the silence. Here comes the legend. The Jaguar XJ6 sedan just keeps getting better and better. Jaguar, a blending of art and machine. Test drive the XJ6 sedan at your Jaguar dealer.
The winter's closing in. The road's getting worse. That's when you want the performance of Exxon unleaded regular gasoline. Higher in octane than most other unleaded regulars to help silence knocks and pings and give you the performance you need. For still higher octane, try Exxon Extra Unleaded. When you want performance, you want Exxon. Quality you can count on.
Don't miss Entertainment Tonight, Monday at 7.
In the NFC West, San Francisco could be all alone in first place. They are now 5-2. They beat New Orleans in New Orleans 32-13 because the Rams may lose to Atlanta. That would be the Falcons' first victory ever in Los Angeles or Anaheim. They're up now 21-7 on John Robinson. Steve Bartkowski for the season has 14 touchdown passes and only 1 interception. This was his first of 2 today to Stacey Bailey. And Dan Henning had the hot quarterback. But Henning does not have a way to shut down the Rams' talented rookie running back Eric Dickerson, who went in here for his 11th touchdown of the season. But Gerald Riggs got the Falcons' 3rd touchdown with his 6-yard burst, and again it is 21-7 in the second half, the Falcons with the lead. Cincinnati and Denver, they are in the second half, still tied at 10 in the third. The Giants and Kansas City. The Giants, with a late touchdown in the second quarter, have taken a lead on the Chiefs. And Irv, tell us how it happened.
Of course, Coach Bill Parcells would like to see his offense get started. And Scott Brunner, a quarterback, tries to do that, but he's hit by number 51, Charles Jackson. The ball has popped out of there, causing a fumble. Kansas City recovered and got a field goal out of it. A few plays later, Bill Kinney gets his offense going, but the ball is hit. Brian Kelly, number 55, a great linebacker for the Giants, picks it off and rambles down to the 15-yard line. A few plays later, Scott Brunner hits number 26, Rob Carpenter, right here in the middle of the field here. He scampers into the 15-yard line out, and the Giants take a lead. Bill Kinney comes back with his offense, hitting Willie Scott for a 4-yard pass. In the third quarter, the Giants still lead that game, Brent, by a score of 14-10.
And we have an update on this other one. The Raiders were ahead of Seattle 17-7. Jim Zorn has just gone into the end zone, so it is now 17-14. Marcus Allen threw another touchdown pass for the Raiders. For the running back, that's his third touchdown pass in the last two games. And, of course, the game you are watching here on CBS, you got to wonder about the Dallas Cowboys. They got ahead a little bit early today. Well, let's send you back live now. And here's Pat Summerall and John Madden. Pat?
Yeah, I got it.
The company that has sparked more engines than any other company in the world now has guaranteed performance for your import. Copper Plus, designed to improve the performance of just about every imported car sold in America. Copper Plus, guaranteed to perform better, or we'll give you your money back. Copper Plus, the easiest and simplest way to improve performance, because nothing sparks like a champion. Guaranteed.
Bartender's next big league pitcher and loves to serve fire-brewed Strohs. See what I mean? That was his fastball. That was the curve. Look out. Wild pitch. What was that? Relief pitcher. From one beer lover to another Strohs.
Delicious Campbell soup is perfect for a lunch date. Campbell's tomato soup has more vitamin C per calorie than apples, corn, or peaches. Besides, it's a nice way to warm up to someone.
Want to see my baseball cards? Why don't we just have some more soup?
Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. Ice Blue Aqua Velva, because there's something about an Ice Blue Aqua Velva man. And by Goodyear, makers of Eagle high-performance radios.
Dallas Cowboys lead the Philadelphia Eagles 23-7 at the half. Both of the teams have come back on the field. One more time to tell you, I'm Pat Summerall with John Madden. I haven't seen too many surprises. I think after the Cowboys went 6-0 and had to come from behind in every victory so far until now, they sort of went into this week with a little added determination, don't you?
Well, I think they did. All the players were telling us yesterday that this was the most intense week of practice that they've had.
What about the Eagles situation now? Number one, they've got some people hurt in the secondary. We don't know yet whether they'll be back or not. What do they have to do to get back in this football game?
I think the interesting thing is, as Marion Campbell was saying, that what they want to do is they wanted to stop the Cowboys on first down so that they could put their 3-1-7 defense in, make them pass into that. They've done that. They've stopped the Cowboys on first down, but they've had a lot of success passing on them. The Cowboys haven't, and it's all been to the tight ends. It's all been the same type of thing.
Tight end, Jim? Why particularly Dupree and Cosby?
Because what happened is they're doubling everyone else. They're doubling to the outside. The deep guys who are helping are too deep, and they're hitting in front of them. So what's happened here in the first half is that the tight ends against that defense have caught 8 passes. Doug Cosby's caught 6. Billy Joe Dupree 2. So I think what the Eagles have to do in that defense is they have to get that tight end covered.
Well, we'll see if they can accomplish that or not, as the Cowboys will kick off to begin the second half. Raphael Septien, who had the outstanding first half with his 3 field goals, responsible for a lot of the Cowboys' margin. He will kick it off. Major Everett goes back deep for Philadelphia. I don't know what happened to Glenn Young. The Eagles have suffered in the secondary. They've got some key secondary people injured. Hopkins, Roydell Young. And that's going to put a crimp in what they can do if those 2 guys can't come back. Another half of football to go as the Cowboys lead 23-7 over Philadelphia. Hot when the game started, about 85 degrees. Now it's cooled down a little bit as the sun has started to dip. Here comes Septien. Harry Harrington brought it out. Angelo King made the stop along with help from Bruce Hutter. Just to keep you up to date now on what's going on in the World Series, the Orioles 4-0 over the Phillies. The end of 3.5. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on as the Orioles could end it all today. First down, Eagles. Their own 27. First play from scrimmage of the second half. Back to Williams. Randy White. Tom Landry said he's been playing awfully well.
Well, he got the game ball the last 2 weeks. You can see why on this play. Watch, he's stepping up here. He's going to take on the guard right here, slip him right here. Just throw him off with his left hand, get the right hand inside, and flatten out right down the line of scrimmage, and then put the finishing touches on that deal. That's the play. You know, when they call a manster, half man and half monster, that's the type of play they're talking about.
Right. He's not as big as he was last year in terms of weight, but he is in strength. Back to Williams again. 3 or 4, Randy White, Harvey Martin. Again, both of them out there.
I'll tell you, Randy White in those last 2 plays has really done a job on Steve Kenny. You know, the first play, he took him on, threw him off. Here, watch him from the end zone. He's 54 right there. Now, he'll start into Kenny. Watch, he gets his both hands on his shoulder back. Hold him right there, work right down the line, Bring him in to meet Dickerson. Boom! Put the finishing touches again. Finishing touches.
Really? 3rd and 6. Ball at the 31. Jaworski goes back. Shotgun. Cowboys have their pass defending set up. Jaworski really didn't have much time as Too Tall Jones put the heat on him that time.
That's the thing. You know, Too Tall was coming in, and he had to throw over him. Let's watch the rush from the middle. Let's watch Randy White, Big John Dutton in there inside. Randy White's lining up over the center. Guy Morris on that play. Said they're not going to get him this time. Guy Morris says, I got you down, and you're going to stay down till that ball's thrown. But they didn't get Too Tall Jones down.
Jaworski 2 out of 10 now. Skladany back to kick for the Eagles. Rod Hill back deep for Dallas. Hang time, 3-9. Look out, got some room. Rod Hill out of bounds at the 45, into the garbage can, into the fence. Tears up 2 telephones and 5 boxes of Gatorade. 18 yards on the return by Rod Hill. It was a 42-yard punt by Skladany. Good move right here.
Rod Hill, he starts up to the middle. He sees all those green jerseys and said, I'm going to bounce it out, run out here to the outside. There aren't any guys out there. Here comes one now, so I'll just run out of bounds. Rod Hill does that a little. He'll run out of bounds on those punt returns. I think, as a matter of fact, I think he's run every one of them out of bounds today.
All but one. This can be dangerous out of bounds, too.
Hey, Especially if you have Gatorade and telephones and benches and people and wires and stuff down there.
17-10 Giants over Kansas City, third quarter. Pearson. Midfield. Roy Neal Young back. Knocked him out of bounds. See what's happening to the Rams in Seattle. Bad things. I'm sorry, the Raiders and Seattle. Seattle 21, the Raiders 17. Seattle coming back. The Seahawks under Chuck Knox have become fairly formidable.
I'll tell you, the Raiders have always had a tough time up there in Seattle, in that kingdom. And they don't play. They have to play in natural surroundings. You get artificial carpet indoors and roofs and stuff, they can't play.
Mostly natural guys. 2nd and 5. This is Springs barreling for a Cowboy first down inside the Eagle 45. Reggie Rooks tripped him up. Herbert Scott coming in with the play from Coach Landry.
You know, when Herbert Scott comes in with a play, or Howard Richards, they just bring in an abbreviated form of the play. Then Danny White has to put the whole thing together, the formation, the pass pattern, or the run blocking, the snap count, all those types of things.
1st and 10 Dallas. Dorsett squirms away from one tackle. Now he has a first down. Now he has more, and he can't turn it on. Roy Neal Young finally got him out of bounds. That's individual effort, 32 yards.
You know, Dorsett has those moves where he'll move laterally right and left. Then he also has the moves where he'll start and stop. And on that one, he gave a little start and stop, double clutch type stuff. Watch this one. I formation. He's the only back there. All eyes are on him. Linebackers, see the linebackers flowing, coming up. Look, he stops right here. Now he said, well, I'm going to go again. Take off. Little move there. He breaks through. You got to get your arms around that guy and right up the field. You see that? He was stopped. He just gave him a complete stop. They tackle him fine. If they don't, he say, hey, I got a little more room to go here.
That's Clark, who almost had him stopped, almost had him down. Cowboys first down. Balls at the Eagle 12. Hand off Spring to the 6. Bernard Wilson made the tackle.
I really think that effect of the first half, when the Cowboys had the ball so long, so many plays, so many first downs, that it really does have an effect. I think that the Eagle defense, even though it's just the start of the third quarter, I think they're a tired group already, a little beaten down.
They just keep looking into that Dallas offensive huddle and say, we've done this a lot already. 2nd down and 5. Dorsett. Spins in. Touchdown.
Dorsett's first touchdown of the year. But I think those things happen when the defense does get a little tired. The Eagles are showing signs of it now because in the last couple plays, they're missing tackles.
Raphael Septien to attempt the extra point. Cowboys 29, Eagles 7. Trying to make it even 30. And Raphael does. Show 55 yards, 5 plays, and then at 44. Dorsett, 15 carries for 82 yards, and the Cowboys lead 30-7.
like your face.
Shaving irritates it. I need Ice Blue Aqua Velva.
Beecham's Aqua Velva turns red-hot razor burn to cool, smooth comfort.
Smells great, too.
There's something about an Ice Blue Aqua Velva, man.
Also from Beecham.
Grow a beard, huh? Not under my roof. But, Dad, this electric razor is rough on my face.
Try Electric Shave. It sets up your beard so whiskers stand up and your razor glides.
Electric shave!
Does for an electric razor what lather does for a blade.
Kick off your Sundays with Brent Musburger and Company on the NFL Today. They'll keep you up to date throughout the day in the National Football League. Sundays on CBS Sports.
Dallas 30, Philadelphia 7. Pat Summerall with John Madden. We've just begun the second half. Time of possession is remarkable, isn't it?
That's the thing. You know, it's not all the defense's fault. The offense has to get something going. I'm talking about the Eagle offense to keep the defense off the field.
Major Everett scoops up the ball, tries to get around the corner. Is cut down by Everson Wall.
Let's watch the touchdown and the job that Kurt Peterson, the guard, does here. He's going to pull across here and lead up here and make a block right in here. Dorsett loves to follow his guard. Watch how he does it. Now, you know those guards, you never talk about them too much, but see Peterson come up there at the block right there. Dorsett makes that move right off that block and into the end zone.
Tell you what, those two guys on the left side, Derek and Herbert Scott, did some job. They just caved everything.
They cleaned it out. The off guard came across and led through, and it was a perfect play.
Jaworski will have to throw on first down. The Cowboys put the pressure on. Carmichael comes up with the Eagles first down. Walls and Downs. Takes the 6'8" Harold Carmichael down. Orioles 4-0 over the Phillies after 4. They could be the champions after today. Jaworski is 3 out of 11. Eddie Murray, by the way, has hit 2 home runs in that game, coming out of his slump. Oliver. Through the 44, maybe 45. Dexter Clinkscale had to make the tackle, or did make the tackle.
I bet that was an influence play on that one. I bet the guard pulled because they did something to open up that right side. Let's see if we can just see there on the left offensive side. Nope, they just blocked Danny White in. Hubert Oliver went right through.
Second down, Eagles, and 3. 10:05 left, third quarter. Cowboys looking like they might blitz. Williams, Eagle first down. Just short of midfield. Let's check a couple of the other scores. Hegman and Martin made the tackle. Atlanta leading the Rams 21-14 now, third quarter. Cincinnati and Denver tied 17 all, third quarter. This is the kind of thing that the Eagles have got to get going out there. If things aren't already out of reach, they got to keep the ball a while. First down at their own 49. Got a man wide open is Williams, the tailback. He is down to the Dallas 22. Leaps to that point before he's tripped by Dexter Clinkscale. Gain of 29. Not over yet by any means.
Let's watch Michael Williams now. Now he's going to come through in a delay. You see, he starts from the left. Everyone else goes deep. He comes right into the middle, and there was no one covering him until Dexter Clinkscale gets there.
Eagles out of the huddle quickly this time. First and 10. 8.5 minutes left, third quarter. Cut him down. For an NFL update, let's go one more time to Brent Musburger in our New York studio.
Pat, they got one cooking in Anaheim. Vince Ferragamo has brought the Rams from behind, and he hits Preston Denard here for a touchdown, and now the Rams are within striking distance against Atlanta, 21-14. Let's go back to Pat and John.
Back here at Texas Stadium, it's 2nd and 6 for the Eagles at the Dallas 18. Picked off in the end zone in a very casual fashion by Dennis Thurman. Nobody there.
That had to be a mix-up there because there was no one running a pattern to that corner. Ron Jaworski had to be thinking one thing, and his receiver was thinking the other thing.
I think it was intended for Quick, but I'm not sure.
We see it here from the end zone. He just lost it right up there for that corner of the end zone, and there's not a green jersey in the whole thing. Harold Carmichael's the closest one, but he was coming from the offside.
So the Cowboys will take over. Let's see if we can figure out what happened.
Watch this. Here comes Carmichael. He's coming to the inside. Look, Quick runs a sideline there, and it looks like Jaworski probably thought Quick was going to be in the end zone.
So Dallas takes over at their own 20. They lead 30-7.
Who is America's leader in radials? Goodyear. We outsell all foreign radials combined. And here's one reason why. The Goodyear Eagle GT. A high-performance radial that gives a great performance in the rain with outstanding traction and superb handling on wet, slippery turns. The Goodyear Eagle GT. It's one reason Goodyear is the leader in radials. No foreign maker of radials even comes close. Goodyear, #1 in radials.